But when it came time for him to either go pro or go to college, he chose college. Just 3 games. He's the one to trust going forward. But the Cardinals have 5 games left this season, and they're all against good defenses who are good against running backs. The 1995 team said that once that final putt dropped 25 years ago, that it all became real. The name Zendejas is all over the ASU facility. Louis Zendejas, that is. When Herm Edwards took the job at ASU, he had a tall order to fill on the field. But our Nick White found out there's another Arizona State legacy that he embraced. Now we all have our favorite order. Maybe it's tacos, maybe it's a burrito. For me, it's a bowl. Next time Edwards is in one of these classrooms, it won't be as coach, it'll be as professor. And he might just have a few surprises up his sleeve. Being a legacy leg just comes with the territory. The Utes defense has been strong all season, but their defense this weekend was downright stifling. A senior quarterback here in the Valley made national headlines when he announced he was forced to medically retire from the game he loves. Under a new law just signed by California Governor Gavin Newsom, college athletes in California will soon be able to be paid for endorsements. Places to live are in high demand here in the Valley. Campground upgrades could be coming to national parks in Arizona soon. And now the coach is going to bring lessons like don't press sand to classrooms all around the downtown campus. Arizona State head football coach Herm Edwards said before the pay-to-play bill was signed that it would equate to an unequal playing field.
It'll give the California schools an advantage in recruiting, to be quite honest. I think you're opening Pandora's box.
One key that was said by Newsom and NBA star LeBron James on Monday was that it would help athletes that come from impoverished areas to make some money while also getting their education, and Edwards agrees.
And for a lot of these young men or women that are student athletes, according to where they come from, that's important to them. You know, I can make extra money. I get extra benefits.
However, for current college athletes like ASU running back Eno Benjamin, he isn't really concerned with this law much because, well, it won't really affect him.
Really, I'm sort of indifferent. I see the sides, I see pros and I see cons, and so that's not for me to decide.
But many have been saying,
it's going to change college football, big time.
But Victoria Jackson, a former ASU national champion track and field star and now sports historian and ASU professor, has different thoughts.
You know, there's a lot of concerns and fear-mongering that the whole thing is going to change fundamentally, but I don't think it's going to change all that much.
There have been statements this week from both the NCAA and the Pac-12 conference on the signing of this bill, but this line from the Pac-12 on how it will adversely affect women's sports has Jackson up in arms.
If they cared about women's sports, they'd be doing more to encourage women to stay in coaching. If they cared about women's sports, they wouldn't count men who practice with women's teams as women for Title IX compliance. I mean, it's just so tired. It's disingenuous, and it's really frustrating.
But Jackson thinks something will get done before California's law takes effect in 2023. In the Media Center, Matthew Roy, Cronkite News. With a father who played professional golf and owned a driving range in Taiwan, Chun An-Yu, also known as Kevin, pretty much grew up with a club in his hand.
My life was just, golf, just golf. Everything just golf.
He started swinging at just 5 years old and quickly proved himself a prodigy. He was only 10 the first time he beat his dad.
I remember I played really good that day, and my dad was playing good too. And then few clutch spot in the end, and then beat him by 1 or 2 shots, I think. Yeah, so I started kind of making progress, started playing good, and then he was happy about it. Yeah.
Once he started winning, he didn't stop. You dreamed of playing on the PGA Tour, but he knew he would need to come to America and learn English to make it happen. So in 2015, he made a 6-month trip to Florida and the Gary Gilchrist Golf Academy.
Kind of brought me to how Americans live life, and then kind of know the culture, and then I get used to the food.
Yu's been traveling all around the world since he was 12 years old playing golf tournaments. But when it came time for him to either go pro or go to college, he chose college and traveled all the way from Taiwan to ASU.
You play golf, not just golf. You can learn so many things from your life, from your college experience.
Yu was recruited to ASU by then head coach Tim Mickelson and committed in the summer of 2015. But when Mickelson resigned and ASU hired current men's golf coach Matt Thurman before Yu's freshman year, Yu actually attending ASU didn't seem like a sure thing. So Thurman reached out to a mutual friend.
Fortunately, one of my best friends and guys I coached is CT Pan from Taiwan. I coached him for 4 years at Washington. I'm still in close contact with he and his now wife. and they were very close with Kevin. And we had talked a lot about Kevin even while I was at Washington. So I basically called them and said, hey, you need to help me here.
Pan is a pro golfer on the PGA Tour and is currently 58th in the world. You and Pan both played for Taiwan at the Asian Games in 2014 and have been like family ever since. You thought he was ready to forego college and jump right into the pro tours when he was 18, but Pan told Cronkite Sports Report via email that he and his wife helped convince you to go to college in order to be more prepared when he got his shot.
When we talk about it now, Kevin says, oh yeah, I was for sure coming, but I sure didn't feel that way at the time.
You had to get the right English tutor, get high enough scores on the TOEFL English Language Aptitude Test and SAT before he could be set to arrive on campus in the middle of the 2016-17 academic year. But he still hit the ground running by winning his third tournament that he played in. The adjustment to American lifestyle, however, was the struggle.
I don't know if Kevin has even adjusted to American lifestyle. School was really difficult for him when he got here because he was still just barely learning English. But he battled through. He's a hard worker and he's done well in school.
Another struggle was adjusting to his teammates. Spanish senior Alex Del Rey was Yu's roommate his freshman year, and that was a culture shock for both of them.
He was like really organized. I was a mess. The food was like, I would cook something and he would be like, oh, that smells bad. And he would cook something. I was like, what is that?
Sarcasm was another adjustment for you. And with a roommate like Del Rey, that adjustment had to happen fast.
And occasionally when he got it for a while, he would kind of react aggressively, finally, like to defend himself. But he wasn't very good at it, you know? He wasn't used to that game, and Alex is the pro at it. I mean, Alex will just wear you out.
Like when you beat someone so many times for so many years, like I probably did with Kevin, he gets to a point where he wants to reply back, and once he got it, like he's pretty funny on the road now.
Thurman thinks you will be a star on the professional tours, compete in championships, and win a lot of money. But you is focused on the task at hand.
I want to be successful. I definitely want to play good, play on PGA Tour, win majors, but now I just want to focus in the moment, like step by step.
Men's golf is now in their off season, so Yu has plenty of time to work on his golf game and his comebacks. In Phoenix, Matthew Roy, Cronkite Sports Report.